For the leper. Nice job, thank you. Next to the stage, founding member of the St. Louis Tea Party, served the state of Missouri as chief of staff for the former Governor Matt Blunt, considering a run for Congress to represent Missouri's 3rd District. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Martin.
Thank you. First, I have a public service announcement for those of you that may have caught the beach balls. I actually got a phone call during Alderwoman Tepper's presentation that Nancy Pelosi called, and there is a tax on beach balls. So if you're holding a beach ball, please bring $1,000 to the front tent here. My friends, these are the worst of times, and these are the best of times. We know that sentence, we know that phrase. You might not know the next line. This was an age of wisdom and an age of foolishness. I think we're living in that too. I'd offer today that there's a wave of oppression sweeping from Washington, D.C., and there's a wave of freedom sweeping back from Quincy, Illinois, and St. Louis, and everywhere else. If you're for freedom and wisdom, and I know you are, then stand today here and cheer on all these patriots. That's why we're here. Freedom is making a comeback in America. Freedom is making a comeback. We're coming back, and we'll take it from Quincy and St. Louis and everywhere else across America, and we'll force it on D.C. If they won't listen, we'll send 2.2 million patriots to their mall, and we'll tell them, it's not your mall, it's our mall, it's our country. Freedom is making a comeback, and it's starting here. Freedom! Freedom. I came up from St. Louis, I came up the river. I'm going to leave all my Cubs jokes in the truck. I promise, no Cubs jokes. It's too cruel to make fun of a dying man like Cubs fans must feel. But never mind, I'm not going to say a word. In St. Louis, we started on a cold Friday. I'll never forget it. Friday at noon. Bill Hennessy, he may be a genius, but when he decided our first tea party would be on a February Friday at noon in sleeting rain, some of us wondered. But we started, and Bill promised us there would be tens of patriots there. And there were hundreds. There were 1,500 people there. 1,500 people. Raise your hand if you were there in St. Louis. And a few weeks later, there was 10,000 patriots on April 15th because freedom's making a comeback. Freedom is making a comeback. And later we gathered on the 4th of July, and we gathered in front of senators' offices. We gathered in town halls. We asked questions. We sometimes shouted. I'm sorry if that seems rude. We sometimes shouted. Because what we heard from our neighbors and from our friends and from our spouses and from our children was, it's too important not to shout. It's too important not to object. It's too important not to stand up and say, freedom's coming back. Quincy, Illinois is one more stop on this effort to take back America and bring freedom back. And I want to encourage you, but I want to tell you about two people that brought freedom back in Missouri and St. Louis. One is a guy named David MacArthur. David MacArthur, you might know him. David MacArthur and his brother run a bakery. And when they saw the national energy tax, that's sometimes called the cap and trade bill, they protested. And they asked their congressman, don't vote for it, or at least tell us how we're supposed to keep going if you hike our rates 10%. And they said, and they sent emails, and they called, no response. And when they voted when Russ Carnahan, the congressman, voted for that cap and trade bill, they put up on their sign that Congressman Carnahan just put them and others like them out of business. And this is where it gets interesting. This is where freedom is coming back. David MacArthur put it up on his sign, and I tell him it's like Field of Dreams. If you say it, they will come. And they came to his bakery from all across the country. They come now. Truckers come off the highway, and they come and they say, I heard about you. I heard about how you took a stand, and I want to buy a sandwich or a soda, or I just want to say thank you. And Freedom is making a comeback in MacArthur's Bakery every time people come in. And the last person I want to tell you about, and I'll smile because it's a little self-serving, but I want to tell you about every man and woman that you know that started the Tea Party with you, shoulder to shoulder, whether they were in Quincy, in St. Louis, whether they were in other states across the Union. But a lot of people in those places said, Freedom needs to come back, and I'm going to do something. You'll meet Kevin Jackson later. He's written a book. We've heard people that are blogging, people that are fighting. But there's a number of your brothers and sisters, your fellow patriots, that decided to put their name on the ballot. And they decided that 2010 is going to be a time where they can stand up and we can keep freedom coming back. For my part in Missouri, there's a congressman there, Congressman Carnahan, who has admitted, you guys know him, you've heard of him, yeah. Congressman Carnahan has admitted that he didn't read the bill, the stimulus. He's admitted that the health care bill is going to save us money, even though it's not true. And more importantly, he refuses to stay in a town hall or any other setting and hear your voices, his constituents. So I'm putting together an effort to run against Congressman Carnahan. And others are doing the same in other races, whether it's here or somewhere else. But be clear, I'm not running to go to Congress to get a pretty lapel pin. I'm going to take solutions to bring back America. And the solutions start with freedom, and they start with you all keeping more of your money and lowering taxes. They start with taking all of the power out of D.C. and returning it to the people. They start with a 10th Amendment that means what it says. And most importantly, it starts by having people who will listen to the constituents, be honest with them, and make a difference for America. So today I'm so proud to be here. You're going to see some great people, Alderwoman Tepper. You're going to see later Congressman Lukemeyer from Missouri that's been fighting the fight. But there are a bunch of us that are going to get out and fight the battle, and we need you to join us. We need you to come and be part of our team. So 2010, freedom's going to keep coming back. Thank you all very much. God bless you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Martin. Next coming up to the stage here today is